Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. Just a bit of an update, really, today, guys, because I saw a tweet from Peter Whittle earlier this evening. Peter Whittle owns the New Culture Forum over on YouTube. And he put out that the three Muslim gentlemen, I'm sure you can cast your minds back to this, at Manchester Airport, who broke some female police officers' noses and generally had a bit of a roll around and a punch and a kick with the old Bill in Manchester Airport just a few months ago. They have still, to this very day, have not been charged for what they did that day. Now, I'm sorry to make the same old points time and time again, but it's impossible not to with an example such as this. If either me or you did exactly the same thing, had a bit of a barney, had a bit of a punch-up with the old Bill, I can pretty much guarantee you, I bet everything I hold dear on the fact that we will be slapped in irons that very same day, thrown in a police cell that very same day, probably charged that very same day, and probably received a hefty custodial sentence within a week's time. Not be still walking the streets months after the event, drinking beer and having a jolly old knees up, basically, after breaking a female copper's nose and, having a rumble on the floor with the old Bill. Now, when we have a police force that is supposed to be there to serve and protect people like me and you, the white, working class British people in general, when they have been compromised and are afraid of, I suppose you could call it, sectarian violence, because let's face it, that's what would happen. If these two men were to be charged, which they fully deserve to be, and thrown in prison like they fully deserve to be, there would be kick-offs, to say the least, I predict. Few places in Yorkshire, the north of England, that type of thing, maybe down in London. People would take to the streets, just like they did in London just a few months back, and start burning things and start throwing things at police officers and threaten to kill them and beat them up, etc., and start kicking the fuck out of the streets, basically, making a right mess and a nuisance of themselves. That's what the police fear. I wouldn't say the most, second to most. They fear the most being called racists and bigots for some bizarre reason. I don't know about you. I start wearing it as a badge of honour now. If a day goes by where I don't get called a racist or a bigot, I feel quite disappointed. But yeah, that's basically what we have on our hands now. When we have a police force that won't do their job simply through fear of repercussions, we are in trouble as Indigenous British people, shall we say. Because let's face it, if we were ever a victim of crime, say, if our house ever got burgled, or we ever got beaten up, or one of our family members got raped or something by a minority, say a Pakistani Muslim man, or a black man, or some other minority, I can bet my bollocks to a barn dance, not a lot would happen about it. Hence why I hope and pray that vigilantism will be on the rise at some point. A group of concerned people are going to go door to door, street to street, asking people if they're all right, asking if they need anything sorting out, a bit of cash, bit of mercenary work, that kind of a thing. I'll gladly hand over even my hard-earned cash, because I know those said people will get the justice they deserve. I think that's the best way I can put it. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling. I just wanted to give you a quick update on these two scumbags. Still walking the streets, still having the jolly old knees up, and probably having a right good laugh at our justice system. And understandably so, because yet again, if we hit the old Bill, or I hit the old Bill, I would be sent down quicker than you can say, who goes there? It's a laughable event, isn't it? Anyway, guys, that's me lot. I'm growing my hair, but I don't know why, because I think I am going bald. I think age is finally catching up with me. I think I'm wasting my time. I'm starting to look like one of them things I got back in the late 80s. It was like a stocking or something filled with grass seeds, and you put water on it and it started sprouting hair like that. Yeah, starting to look like one of them. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.